Hello guys, we are back with Championship predictions and Sophie is back as well. It's good to see you. Set us a big like target.
Let's go 2,500 likes.
Let's do it.
Big.
Let's do it for the return of Sophie.
Yeah.
Guys, be sure to subscribe as well as dropping a like. It takes 2 seconds and we're so close to 91,000 subscribers. And the scores from last time, Sophie, the scores are here. 5-1. There was only 8 games to predict, but you got 1 point.
Yeah, that is so poor. So that's one team right. I didn't even get any scores right. 1 team right out of 8. That's dreadful.
Yeah, it's not great. Anyway, let's get into the predictions for this time, Sophie. Let's see if you can do much better. We start with the game we will be going to on Tuesday night. Coventry City versus Queen's Park Rangers. Funnily enough, Sophie, when we played QPR back in October, we were both in the bottom 3. Now we're both mid-table and both 4 points off the playoffs. Both have improved. Yeah. QPR didn't play last week. In fact, Coventry have played twice since QPR last played. QPR last played last Tuesday when they won 2-1 at home to Blackburn. Coventry have lost to Leeds and lost to Ipswich, but before those difficult games, we had won 4 in a row. It feels like a very big game in the playoff race. A win would be massive for either team because the playoffs in terms of 5th and 6th place are so open.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a really difficult game though, Sophie. I really like QPR. I think Martí Cifuentes, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets them into the playoffs.
Yeah,
I
wouldn't be surprised
I think
either.
they are that good. But I want to give Coventry something, and I'm not going to go for a draw, Sophie, because you know me. I'm always indecisive, and sometimes I'm a bit of a pessimist. Let's be an optimist. 1-0 to Coventry. What I will say, though, is I want to see more aggression. I want to see us smashing into the challenges. I want to see that intensity. I want to see us running faster and harder, because just in the last couple of games, I haven't seen that. And if we're going to beat QPR, we have to be right at it. I want 100% concentration.
Yeah. I feel like both teams are going into this as like a must not lose because the playoff race is so open that it's like, okay, a draw wouldn't be a terrible result for both teams, but now we need the 3 points really. I think our Coventry bias is coming into play with this one because I'm going to back us to win as well. I'm not going to say we keep a clean sheet just because I've seen so many mistakes in the last 2 games that I think we'll probably gift QPR a goal at some point. I'm going to say 2-1.
Oh,
yeah.
You stuttered.
So, yeah. It's like, do I say 2-0? No, I can't. I do think there will be at least 1 mistake and they'll pounce on it. So 2-1.
2-1. There you go. We are both back in Coventry. Please, Coventry City, don't let us down and don't make us look stupid because I think it's a brave prediction because I do like QPR. On to the next one, Sophie. We go to Derby County versus Oxford United. This is certainly a big game in the relegation scrap. Oxford are now 9 points clear of Derby, and if Oxford can go to Derby and just not lose, I don't see them being involved in any relegation danger. It's up to Derby to pull them in. And let's give Derby credit, Sophie. It was a great draw away at Norwich last time. Jerry Yates with the last minute penalty. And it is worth mentioning, of course, that Derby County are linked with John Eustace, who is in talks at the moment. So we will see if that goes through. That would be a really good bit of business from Derby. Do you know what? I haven't backed Derby often recently because they have been on a poor run. And that draw against Norwich might give them a bit of confidence. I'm going to edge them here, Sophie.
Okay.
Derby 1, Oxford 0.
Oof, that'd be a massive win, to be fair. And I think it is looking likely that Eustace is going there. And a lot of people are saying that's a downward step. I think it's more the ambition of the club right now. And I think he could do a good job in keeping them up, to be honest. But at the moment, it's unconfirmed. So right now, I'll say a draw. I'll say 1-1. Yeah, share the points.
It's a better result for Oxford considering they're further away from danger.
Exactly, yeah. It's not disastrous, is it, to get a point away from home?
No. The next game, Sophie, is also a big game in the relegation scrap as Portsmouth take on Cardiff City. Wasn't this the FA Cup final in 2008 when Portsmouth won, I believe? As for this game, Sophie, I think it's 19th versus 20th. The stakes couldn't be much higher. I mean, it really is a big game. Cardiff City at the weekend went away in the FA Cup and won at Stoke City on penalties in a bonkers game which finished 3-3. Portsmouth Very unfortunate not to get anything at Sheffield United. They played really well, Sophie. They lost 2-1, but they missed some big chances.
Yeah.
And they're at home now. They did draw with Burnley the week before, but it seems like Cardiff City have responded quite well to that 7-0 defeat from Leeds. Yeah. I'm going to go down the middle, 1-1.
I might just edge Portsmouth, you know. I think they played really well against Sheffield United, and you will feel gutted to not get anything from that game. So I think there might be a bit more of a reaction for them, especially being the home side. So I'm just going to edge them 2-1. But I do think Cardiff will very much be in it, and I wouldn't be surprised if they either draw or possibly even win this one, because they have turned a corner for me in their performances. But I'm not going to back it. I'm going to back the home side.
It's a big game down at the bottom. I personally think I could see both of these staying up. A win would be massive. A draw is all right, I guess, but it wouldn't get you that far away from the bottom. The next game, Sophie, is at Vicarage Road. Watford take on Leeds United. Watford will be kicking themselves only to get the draw away at Sunderland, because they conceded right at the end. What a goal from the loser, though. I mean, that was a fantastic finish. As for Leeds United, they were dumped out of the FA Cup at the weekend by Millwall. It seemed to me
I think they're bothered, though.
I was just about to say that. I don't think they care. I think they're like,
focus on the league.
Focus on the league. They beat Coventry last week. They were better than us, and I think Leeds could score a few goals here, even though I think Watford were really good at the weekend. Let's go Watford 1, Leeds 3.
I'm going for the same scoreline. I think Leeds are more than capable of scoring goals. They're a very, very good team. We mentioned, they lost in the cup, but I don't think they were bothered about that. It was more focus on the league. And Watford, they are a good team. When I say they're a good team, they've got some really good players for me. I look at Watford and think, I like that player, I like that player. And then, they can play well sometimes, but they're a little bit inconsistent for me. So they could turn up here and give Leeds a really, really good game, or Leeds could be quite dominant. And I'm feeling the latter at the moment. So, I'm in agreement, 3-1.
3-1. There you go. We're going for the same. Do let us know your thoughts on that game at Vicarage Road. The next one is at Carrow Road, Sophie, as Norwich City host Preston North End. Norwich, we just mentioned, only managed the draw against Derby.
Yeah.
It's great to see Josh Sargent back in the goals since his return, and once they get Signs back as well, they could be really powerful. And I think they've got a nice run of fixtures here where you could certainly see them moving into that top 6. They take on Preston though, Sophie, and Preston are solid. They did win at the weekend in the FA Cup against Wycombe. It wasn't a classic, but they won the game. I think Preston can come here and get a draw. I think I'm going to go for a bit of a stalemate. I don't want to go for a 0-0. Let's go for a 1-1. Let's go for a 1-1 draw. I think Norwich will be the favourites, but I just think Preston are hard to beat, and I think they could come and get a point.
Yeah, Preston are very hard to beat, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was a 0-0, but I feel like when you've got Sargent firing, there's going to have to be a goal, surely, and anytime you check who scored, it's going to be him. I'm going to edge Norwich 1-0. I think the playoff race is really heating up, and the teams round about the playoff places, they need to keep plugging in the wins, especially when you're at home as well. I'm not saying it's going to be easy against Preston, because they're a solid championship side, but just going to edge the home side. I think they might just get it over the line this time. So 1-0.
1-0 Norwich. There you go. Okay, not a lot in that one. No. Do let us know your thoughts on Norwich versus Preston. The next game is at Ashton Gate, Sophie, as Bristol City take on Stoke City. Stoke City lost in the FA Cup to Cardiff City, as we mentioned, a 3-3 draw, and then crashed out on penalties, which is Mark Robins' favourite thing to do. As for Bristol City, Sophie, they lost 1-0 at home to Swansea on Sunday, and look, credit to Swansea, but that's a poor result for Bristol City, because Swansea have been in dreadful form. Yeah,
they've been absolutely dreadful. Bristol City have been pretty good at home across the season, so to lose 1-0 in your own backyard.
And you won't get many better opportunities to jump into the playoffs. True. It was a nice fixture, and the opportunities got away from them. I wonder if they might squander an opportunity to win here as well. I'm not going to call a winner here, Sophie. I'm going to go for another draw, 1-1.
I might chuck in 2 more goals. I might go for a Desmond here. I think, both teams are going to cancel each other out, but I do see there being goals. So I'm going to say 2-2. I think Mark Robins' Stoke side, they showed real character to come from 2-0 down on the weekend, to then go ahead, but then it only ended a draw and then they went out on penalties. But still, in the 90 minutes,
Proper
that was character.
Yeah.
Showed
Losing
character to then bottle it on pens. But you know what I mean. So if they can, to be fair, I look at the Stoke side and I think that's not a very good team. I think Robbins can do the best with a not very good team, but for me, sometimes what we saw at Coventry is he doesn't make the right changes when it's very evident as a fan who needs to come off. You need fresh legs, and he's very slow with that. So if he can kind of change that, I don't think he's going to right now, but then I think they're capable of getting a point, but I don't know, it really could go either way. I'm going to say a 2-2 anyway after all of that, but...
After all that waffling?
Yeah, we'll see.
Who'd that be a better result for? Do you think Stoke would be happy with the
Stoke,
draw? On the road?
Yeah.
Let us know your thoughts if you're a Bristol City or Stoke fan. We're struggling to separate that one. The next game, Sophie, is at Turf Moor. Burnley take on Hull City. It's been a good week for Burnley. They beat Oxford United 1-0 last week in the Championship, as I predicted. And then they did beat Southampton 1-0 in the FA Cup as well. A little bit of an upset. They love a clean sheet, Sophie.
They do.
And do you know what? Hull City, they've been pretty decent recently. I think the win against Sheffield United was really impressive. They did lose to Stoke City, but seeing as they're only just trying to stay up this season, I think Hull will pull out enough good results. But will they win at Burnley? Well, no, because I don't think they're going to score. I'm going to go Burnley 1-0.
Yeah, you're going for the trusty Burnley 1-0. It's either the trusty 0-0 or the trusty 1-0. I'm going to chuck in an extra goal. I think Burnley might score more than one this time.
Ooh.
You tend to see that they have a lot of chances, but I mean, they don't concede, which is great because then you're not going to lose. But I think they will score an extra one this week. So 2-0 Burnley.
2-0 Burnley. There you go. Let us know your thoughts down below if you're a Burnley or Hull fan. If Hull can get something, that would be really interesting because no one expected them to get anything at Sheffield United.
No. I mean, they've had a good January window. They have good windows all the time. They just sign loads and loads of players and then just hope for the best. But they sign good players, to be fair.
Yeah, they have, to be fair, yeah. Good ambition.
Yeah.
The next game, Sophie, is at Home Park. Plymouth Argyle take on Millwall, and both of them caused FA Cup upsets. Millwall beat top of the Championship Leeds United, and Plymouth, Sophie...
Who did they beat, man?
They beat top of the Premier League Liverpool.
Wow.
Standing ovation. Standing ovation.
Well done.
That is... Although we didn't predict it, because it was a massive surprise, we didn't see that come in. What I did say in the FA Cup predictions video last week, Sophie, is this will be one of the biggest FA Cup upsets ever. And I think it is. It's right up there because no one gave them a chance. And people can say, oh yes, Liverpool didn't start all of their best players. Okay, their subs are still worth a lot more than Plymouth's players. So let's be realistic and give them credit.
Yeah.
It's a big game now, Sophie. Millwall, I just think they're really good under Alex Neil. And I don't know, I feel like...
It'd be typical for Plymouth to beat Liverpool and then lose to Millwall.
Yeah.
And you're like,
they're just concentrating on the cup.
Yeah, win the cup.
Yeah, win the cup. Because remember, they beat Brentford in the last round as well.
I did forget about that, actually.
Plymouth have the home advantage, Sophie. I don't know. Do you know what? This is going to seem really unfair. Plymouth 1, Millwall 2.
Oh, so you're going for it?
I'm going for Millwall. I tell you what, it would be typical.
It would.
If Plymouth now lose this. They might be absolutely exhausted as well, to be honest. I'm sorry, Plymouth fans. I'm going for Millwall.
In fairness, though, Millwall did just beat Leeds 2-0, which many teams don't do.
You've got to give them
credit, yeah. But then Plymouth have just beat Liverpool. That was just an incredible result. Like, great togetherness as a team to get that over the line. I'm going to go for a draw. I'm struggling to separate the two based on their last result in the cup. I know it's very, very different in the league, and some players will turn up for cup games because they're very, very important games, but I don't know, it can be different in the league. So 1-1 for me. 1-1,
yeah. It is worth bearing in mind, you can't always base a prediction off one team's last result. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't at all.
If you kept doing
especially
that...
on cup games as well.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Because if you kept doing that, you'd keep backing them to win and then they'd never lose. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right, the next game, Sophie, is at the Stadium of Light. Sunderland take on Luton Town. Remember, Sophie, 2 years ago, this was a playoff semi-final. Luton Town did get the better of Sunderland. They went up to the Premier League, and how times have changed. They're now facing a possible relegation to League One, while Sunderland are in the playoffs again. But they'll be kicking themselves. Dropped points, even though they scored late on against Watford, because they've lost ground on Sheffield United now. I really like that header from 09, by the way. That diving header, that was a really good goal. As for a prediction, they've got to win. Sunderland have to win. If they drop points again,
yeah, not good,
mate, it's over. I'm going to say Sunderland 1-0.
Yeah, see, this is a tricky one for me. Do I think Sunderland might, in a way, drop points? If they go 1-0 up and then it ends 1-1, yeah, they've dropped 2 points. Do I think that could happen? Possibly, you know. I think Luton, they really need to battle now, because this relegation battle is it's not looking good for them, to be honest. But then Sunderland, they really need the points on the board as well to cement that, I don't know, 3rd, 4th place, because I think top 2 isn't obviously over, but there's a bit of a gap being formed now. Well, even between the top 3. I'm going to go for a Sunderland 1-1. I think they might drop points again.
Sunderland 1-1?
Yeah.
Sunderland win 1-1.
No, Sunderland draw.
Okay,
draw.
Yeah. Sunderland Luton draw. Okay, that it could happen.
Yeah.
Luton 8.
It shouldn't happen, really. Sunderland should be winning this one, but what I've seen recently, a little bit fragile. I don't know if the occasions like get into them where there is a little bit of pressure, but
nervous.
Yeah, and I understand that, because there is that pressure there now, but ultimately the team should soak that up. The manager should soak that up and then just push on and get all 3 points, especially being at home. But I'm going to say, yeah, nervy 1-1.
A nervy 1-1 to Sunderland. Yeah, do share your thoughts. Luton Town are going to have to come and scrap for their lives, though, aren't they? So it won't be straightforward. The next game, Sophie, is between Swansea City and Sheffield Wednesday. Sheffield Wednesday, it all kicked off away at West Brom in the last couple of minutes. Yeah. There was fighting, there was goals, there was all sorts, a red card. They just need to put that to one side and bounce back with the result here. I don't know if it'll be easy, because Swansea City have now stopped the rot. They got that win away at Bristol City. Is it something that I think is going to lead to Swansea now winning 3 in a row? Not really, but I think they've stopped the rot and they've made themselves a bit harder to beat. So I'm going to go for a draw. Swansea 1, Sheffield Wednesday 1.
Sheffield Wednesday 2-1. I think they're going to edge this one. Great win for Swansea to win 1-0 away at Bristol City. So they'll be hoping to build on that, but ultimately I don't actually see that happening. I think Wednesday are going to just edge it. I know they're without Bannon and he's a key player for them, and they're going to be without him for a few weeks, but I still think they'll get over the line. So 2-1.
Could still make the playoffs, you never know. On to the next game, Sophie. This is a big game at the top end of the table. Sheffield United take on Middlesbrough. It's a weird one, isn't it? I think these two are like opposites in terms of Middlesbrough can play really well and find a way to lose. And Sheffield United
can play really bad but find a way to win.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I don't think Sheffield United were very good against Portsmouth, but they won. And this is what I'm saying, Sophie. Just keep sticking 3 points on. And before you know it, you got 90 points. You should be all right. I think Middlesbrough could come and create most of the chances in this game and find a way to lose. So I'm going to go Sheffield United 2, Middlesbrough 1. Middlesbrough haven't played since Monday last week, and that was when they lost 3-2 to Sunderland, when they played quite well but found a way to lose.
Yeah, I mean, like Coventry, to be fair, they've just got so many mistakes in them, but like going forwards they look good, but defensively not good at all. Do I think Sheffield United will keep a clean sheet though? No, they've not kept many recently. They went through that patch where they're just keeping clean sheet after clean sheet, but right now I don't think they will against Middlesbrough. I think they'll get another 2-1 win. Yeah, I'm in agreement there.
There we go, both back in the blades to beat Middlesbrough. Do share your thoughts on that one, it's a big one. The next game, Sophie, well, the final game, this is also a big one, as 5th take on 6th, West Brom versus Blackburn. It's a Tony Mowbray derby, and it's an Adam Armstrong derby. Let's talk about Adam Armstrong, Sophie, because we haven't...
So good in the Championship.
We haven't spoken about him since he made the move from Southampton to West Brom. I think that could be the difference. I think West Brom have given themselves a massive chance of making the playoffs now. And he always seems to go wherever Tony Mowbray is. It's like he's his dad or something. Honestly, I really rate Adam Armstrong. And he scored, didn't he, against Sheffield Wednesday. And it was good character from West Brom to snatch that game against Sheffield Wednesday despite a late equaliser. I think this is really going to go one way. I don't really like Blackburn at the minute. You know, the form is tailing off. John Eustace...
The manager might be off.
Yeah, the manager might be off as well. And I think this could be really heavy. You know, West Brom may be full of confidence. Mowbray's in the house. They're playing attacking football. Adam Armstrong's probably going to score. I think it could get a little bit out of hand. I'm going to go 3-0 West Brom.
No way, I'm going for the same. Genuinely, I think every so often Tony Mowbray's team are capable of just wiping the floor with another team, and I think that could happen right now with Blackburn. I wouldn't say it's off the field issues, but there's a lot of uncertainty at the club right now, and when you think, hang on, is my manager going to be here next week? Is that going to affect the players? Possibly, but either way, I think Adam Armstrong, great signing for any championship team. Of course, he's gone to West Brom with Tony Mowbray, but genuinely, I think it could be a quite convincing Baggies win. So yeah, again, I didn't think you'd go as heavy as me. I thought you'd go, 3-0, but no, we both obviously see it happening. Yeah,
it feels like two clubs with very different trajectories at the minute. One is moving further into the playoffs, one is maybe going to fall out of the playoffs. Let me know your thoughts.
I'll say it now, I don't think Blackburn finish in the playoffs.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah, I don't. Sorry. Right, that wraps it up. Sorry to end on a sombre note, Blackburn fans.
Yes, sorry guys.
I'm happy to be proven wrong, but there you go. That's our predictions. They're our opinions. If you like what you see, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe. But we like to see your predictions as well, so let us know what you have to say down in the comments. Like I say, get involved and support us. We're that close to 91,000 subscribers, and look out for the FA Cup draw live stream coming later tonight. Thank you for joining me, Sophie.
Thank you.
We will be back with Premier League predictions tomorrow. Take care. Peace out.